Hello, everybody. I wanted to discuss what is happening around us right now, and I really believe the universe has called upon me to share with you some knowledge that is really important in this time right now, in this date. And so I'm going to use a bit of a mixture of a book. Actually, we're going to read the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And I've included my some tarot reading cards in this, as well as some insights of my own, as well as facts that are happening right now. So, all in all, it's going to be an interesting time. And we're going to start with chapter 1, which is laying plans. So, The Art of War was written by a Chinaman called Sun Tzu. And this is a special edition, 2005, which was translated by Lionel Giles. This is going to be very interesting, I can assure you. So, chapter 1, Laying Plans. Sun Tzu said, the art of war is of vital importance to the state. Now, what did he mean by the state? Did he mean us as the people? Or the governments? That is a question that I pondered over and decided it was for us. So repeating that, the art of war is of vital importance to all of us. 2, it is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. And that is so true. I got the Knight of Swords with that, which is basically saying it's adamant this is not a time of neglecting, but a time of fast thinking and action, as well as looking at being successful in our movements and the orientation we make towards the people around us for winning this war. 3, the art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. So, Sun Tzu spoke about the moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, method and discipline. Myself, this is my interpretation, and then we'll go into Sun Tzu's interpretation. Moral law is do no harm and harm no one. That is definitely our law, universal law, and definitely a moral one. 2, heaven is your spiritual self, which needs to be awakened right now to see the evil occurring around you and to wake those around you, as we realize we do not have much time and everyone needs to be up and awake. 3, my interpretation of number 3, which was earth, which really means that we can be totally self-sufficient. We do not need to be reliant on a government or a system that is corrupt and evil, when we have everything we need on earth to be able to sustain ourselves without being greedy. We don't need to be greedy. We just have to be very grateful for what we have that Mother Earth provides us. I just move my notes around here to the next. Okay, so also the commander, which is you, your heart, your dedication, your family, your community. That is the commander and the driver that will drive you forward. 5, method and discipline is the way you use to step up. Now, Sun Tzu's interpretation that he puts down for these are: the moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler, so they will follow him regardless of their lives. Now, that is not what we want to do. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. I know that Sun Tzu is very good at talking about laying plans for war, and his book has been used by very many effective people, so I won't argue with that. Earth comprises distances great and small, danger and secure, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death. And the commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage and strictness, which probably comes into play with my theory on that. Method and discipline are to be understood, the marshalling of the army and its proper subdivisions, the gradations of rank among the officers, the maintenance of roads, by which supplies may reach the army, and the control of military expenditure. Okay, so 11. These 5 heads should be familiar to every general. He who knows them will be victorious. He who knows them not will fail. I have for that, believe in your heart and we will win this war. 12. Therefore, in your deliberations when seeking to determine the military conditions, let them be made the basis of a comparison in this wise. So my theory on the spiritual level is, when seeking to determine what is really going on, do this wisely by taking into account all that is around you and all the facts. So 13 is which of these 2 sovereigns is imbued with a moral law? That is what we need to think about. 2. Which of the 2 generals has the most ability? Well, generals comes to evil and good. 3. With whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth? I'll leave that one for you to think about and contemplate. 4. On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced? Well, discipline can only be enforced if you allow it to be enforced. Nothing can be enforced on anybody without someone's permission. Which army is stronger? Well, we the people are the mass population, so therefore we are the strength because we have numbers. In which army is there the greater constancy, both in reward and punishment? Well, reward and punishment is a man-made belief and not a spiritual belief. There is no reward and punishment. So that's just a bullet we don't need. 14. By means of these 7 considerations, I can forecast victory or defeat. 15. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. 16. While heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules. 17. So 17 I got the 3 of Pentacles for. So I'll read it out and then I'll go into that Pentacles. According as circumstances are favourable, one should modify one's plans. So I asked the tarot about modifying one's plans, like how do we take action? How do we ourselves change our mindset to this new realm? And how do we defeat the situation? And when I asked that, I got by learning, hard work, teamwork, dedication, attention to detail, effort, and motivation. And with effort, I would say that would be continual effort. Like you couldn't let your guard down right now. We are at war. 18. All warfare is based on deception. Basically, right now, the deceptions are all around us. We have mandates, Omicron, COVID-19, some other variants about bullshit or some other bullshit variants and deceptions. We are brainwashed to believe through the media that we are at risk and we are need to comply and, everyone should be scared. That is the warfare that we have right now based on deception. 19. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. So these ways of attack are all based on deception, and therefore it's our turn to use the same deceptions being used on us to turn this around and also do our part in the war we need to fight using the same deceptions that are being used to trick us to losing our freedoms. And I know none of us want to lose our freedoms right now. Okay, so hold out baits to entice the enemy. So if you follow what's been going on around the world, we've had promises of win lotto tickets if you get the jab, $500 given to Indigenous people, promises of getting out of lockdown on a continual basis or being put into lockdown, total deceptions, and lots of baits to entice us to take the poisonous bioweapons that they are serving on us right now. And as a spiritual healer, I have to speak up because I've been asked to, and I really feel it's time that as a spiritual war, all spiritual people stand up and say something and take their part in this spiritual war. Right, okay, so up to 21. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. 22. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. So, what I can say to that one is what came through for me, and that was to hold the line, stay strong, stand firm, don't bend the knee, advise others of the truth, seek spiritual guidance, and make them accountable, whether it's by pretending to be weak, whether it's by whatever means you need to do. I'm sure your spiritual guides will help you and assist you if you just look within. 23. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them, which is exactly what they're doing with us now, separating us from family. But for the people that are awake already and the people that are waking up, do not quit. Make sure you speed things up and keep them on their toes. 24. Attack him when he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. I have here that I actually looked into this through the tarot cards because I found that we didn't have enough plans put into motion. We need so many more plays of attack. There's a lot going on now, but we do need so much more. So I looked through the tarot cards and I got the Ace of Cups, which basically just said the same thing as the book. Make new plans. Don't quit. Make things fasten the actions. Okay, 25. These military devices leading to victory must not be divulged beforehand. And 26. Now the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle is fought. And for those that have been studying this whole war that's woken us up, these actions and the battle that has been created right now has been about over 10 years in the making that we've managed to work out. So we haven't had those 10 years, so we need to act fast. The general who loses a battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Thus, do many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat? How much more? No calculations at all. It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. And that's Sun Tzu's first chapter of The Art of War. And just with that note, I wanted to finish that last section of the chapter by picking one last card. And I got the Wands, the Knight of Wands. So it's not the fact that we haven't got the 10 years up our sleeve of planning and strategies, but the fact that we have the numbers and that we are willing to fight for our freedom that will create us to win this war.